They teach you about money in school, savings, budgeting, investing, the mechanics of the machine, but they never teach you the dark side. The hidden agendas, the insidious control, the price of the paper in your pocket. This isn't about personal finance. This is about the system of money itself and the darkness at its core. Money was supposed to be a tool, a neutral medium of exchange, but it became a weapon, a system of control wielded by governments, corporations, and shadowy elites. It dictates your life, your choices, your very freedom, and you don't even realize you're enslaved. This isn't about economic theory. This is about power. The power to control populations, to manipulate markets, to shape the world in their image. And money is their ultimate instrument, the invisible chains that bind us all, the currency of control. Forget the financial advice, forget the get-rich-quick schemes. This is about uncovering the conspiracy of money, the hidden history, the dark manipulations, the truths they don't want you to know. This is about facing the reality of the system that controls your life and understanding the true price of the paper in your hand. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Neutrality. Money is a tool of control, not exchange. As they tell you, money is neutral, a simple tool for buying and selling, but that's a lie. Money is not neutral, it is power, and it is wielded by those who control its creation and distribution. Governments, central banks, and powerful financial institutions, they are the architects of the system, and they design it for their benefit, not yours. Look at the history of money, from gold and silver, tangible and decentralized, to fiat currency, created from thin air, controlled by central authorities. The shift was not accidental. It was a power grab, a move to centralize control, to remove money from the hands of the people and place it firmly in the grasp of the state and its financial allies. Fiat currency is not backed by anything tangible. It's based on faith. Faith in the government, faith in the central bank, faith in the system itself. But faith can be manipulated. Governments can print money at will, devaluing your savings, fueling inflation, and enriching themselves at your expense. Central banks can manipulate interest rates, control credit, and orchestrate booms and busts, all while claiming to be acting in the public interest. This isn't about sound economic policy. It's about control, controlling the money supply, controlling the economy, controlling the population. Fiat currency is the ultimate tool of control, allowing governments and central banks to manipulate the system for their own purposes, often at the expense of individual citizens. The illusion of neutrality is essential to their control. If you believe money is just a neutral tool, you won't question the system. You won't challenge their power. You will remain a compliant participant in a game rigged against you from the start. But the truth is, money is not neutral. It is a weapon, and it's time to understand how it's used against you. But how does this control manifest in your daily life? How does the system of money shape your choices, limit your freedom, and track your every move? And what are the hidden mechanisms of surveillance embedded within the financial system itself? The first chilling revelation is understanding the Digital Panopticon, the tracking and control enabled by digital money. Chapter 2. The Digital Panopticon, Financial Surveillance and the End of Anonymity. The shift to digital money is not about convenience, it's about control. The Digital Panopticon, financial surveillance on an unprecedented scale. Every transaction tracked, every purchase analyzed, every financial move recorded and stored. Anonymity is dead, privacy is an illusion, and your financial life is an open book for governments, corporations, and those who control the digital infrastructure. Cash was anonymous, untraceable, a vestige of financial freedom. But they are phasing it out, pushing you towards digital payments, digital wallets, digital currencies, all trackable, all traceable, all under their watchful eye. They want to know where you spend your money, what you buy, who you transact with. They want a complete financial profile of every citizen, every transaction, every aspect of your economic life. This isn't about fighting crime or preventing terrorism. It's about control, controlling your behavior, controlling your choices, controlling your very thoughts. Financial surveillance is a tool of social control, allowing governments and corporations to monitor dissent, suppress opposition, and enforce conformity. If they control your money, they control you. The Digital Panopticon is not a conspiracy theory, it's a reality. The technology is here, the infrastructure is being built, and the systems are being implemented. The end of financial anonymity is not a future threat, it's a present danger. And unless we understand the implications and resist the push towards a fully digital, fully surveilled financial system, we will lose what little financial freedom we have left. But what is the ultimate goal of this financial surveillance? What are they tracking? What are they controlling? And what are they ultimately seeking to achieve? And what is the role of cryptocurrency in this unfolding drama? A potential escape from the Panopticon, or a new, even more insidious form of control? The next revelation is the cryptocurrency paradox, the promise of freedom versus the potential for even greater control. Chapter 3. The cryptocurrency paradox: freedom or further enslavement. Cryptocurrency, the digital revolution, the promise of financial freedom. But is it truly an escape from the Panopticon, or just a new, more sophisticated cage? The cryptocurrency paradox, a double-edged sword, capable of both liberation and further enslavement. Decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin offer the promise of financial autonomy. Transactions outside the control of governments and banks, censorship-resistant, borderless, and potentially anonymous. A digital cash system, returning financial power to the people, undermining the centralized control of fiat currency. This is the revolutionary potential of crypto, the hope for a truly free and decentralized financial system. But governments and central banks are not standing idly by. They are exploring central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, digital versions of fiat currency, issued and controlled by central authorities. CBDCs could offer even greater surveillance capabilities than existing digital payment systems. Programmable money, trackable transactions, and the potential for unprecedented control over every aspect of your financial life. This is the dark side of crypto, the potential for even greater enslavement. The cryptocurrency paradox is this: the technology itself is neutral. It can be used for freedom or for control. Decentralized cryptocurrencies offer a path to financial liberation, but centralized CBDCs could usher in an era of unprecedented financial surveillance and control. The future of money is being written now, and the outcome is far from certain. Will crypto be the key to financial freedom, or the lock on a new, more sophisticated cage? But beyond the technological possibilities, what are the deeper, more fundamental consequences of a world dominated by digital, trackable, and potentially programmable money? What are the societal and psychological impacts of losing financial anonymity and living under constant financial surveillance? And what is the ultimate endgame of this system of control, the dystopian future they are building, brick by digital brick? The next revelation is the dystopian endgame, the cashless society and the total control agenda. If you've made it this far, first of all, thanks. And second, please leave a 100 in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if this is the sort of video you want more of, please hit the subscribe button and the bell. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, which in turn allows us to create more content like this and better content as the channel grows. That's next. Chapter 4, the dystopian endgame, cashless society, and the total control agenda. The cashless society is not about efficiency or progress, it's about total control. The dystopian endgame, a world where cash is eliminated, every transaction is digital, and every aspect of your financial life is monitored, tracked, and controlled. This is the ultimate goal of the financial panopticon, the culmination of the conspiracy of money. Total control over every individual, every transaction, every aspect of economic life. In a cashless society, there is no financial privacy. Every purchase, every transaction, every financial move is recorded and analyzed. Your financial history becomes a permanent record, accessible to governments, corporations, and AI algorithms. Your social credit score linked to your financial behavior dictates your access to goods, services, and even basic freedoms. Dissent is financially punished, conformity is financially rewarded, and freedom becomes a distant memory. This isn't just about financial control, it's about social engineering. Programmable money allows governments and corporations to manipulate behavior on a mass scale. Incentives and disincentives can be built into the currency itself, nudging you towards desired behaviors, punishing undesirable ones, and shaping society according to their agenda. Free will becomes an illusion, choice becomes a construct, and you become a programmable unit in their system of control. The cashless society is not a future possibility, it's a present trajectory. The push towards digital payments, the development of CBDCs, the implementation of social credit systems, these are not isolated trends, they are interconnected pieces of a larger agenda. The dystopian endgame is within reach, and unless we understand the stakes and resist the push towards a cashless, fully controlled financial system, we will sleepwalk into a future of financial totalitarianism. What is the historical context of this control? Why did governments and banks gain control over money in the first place? What are the dark historical roots of the system we are trapped in today? And what can history teach us about resisting this control and reclaiming financial freedom? The next revelation is the dark history of control, tracing the roots of financial enslavement. Chapter 5, the dark history of control tracing the roots of financial enslavement. To understand the dark side of money, you must understand its dark history. The story of how control over money was gradually centralized, consolidated, and weaponized, tracing the roots of financial enslavement, revealing the historical forces and hidden agendas that have shaped the system we live under today. The establishment of central banks was not about economic stability, it was about centralizing power. Private banks gaining control over the money supply, lending to governments and profiting from debt. The Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, the European Central Bank. These are not public institutions. They're private entities, wielding immense power over the global financial system, operating largely outside democratic control. The abandonment of the gold standard was not about modernization, it was about unleashing inflation. Removing the last vestige of restraint on government money printing, allowing for unlimited currency creation, devaluing savings, and fueling endless cycles of boom and bust. Fiat currency, no longer tethered to anything tangible, became a tool for manipulation, inflation, and wealth transfer from the many to the few. Financial crises throughout history are not accidents, they are often engineered. Booms and busts orchestrated by those who control the money supply, allowing them to accumulate wealth during booms and consolidate assets during busts. The Great Depression, the 2008 financial crisis, and countless smaller crashes, these are not random events, they are predictable outcomes of a system designed for instability and manipulation. But what is the ultimate lesson of this dark history? What can we learn from the past to resist the present and shape a different future? And what are the potential paths to reclaiming financial freedom, breaking free from the conspiracy of money, and building a more just and equitable financial system? The final revelation is the path to liberation, reclaiming financial sovereignty, and building a better future. If you've made it this far, first of all, thanks. And second, please leave a 100 in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if this is the sort of video you want more of, please hit the subscribe button and the bell. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, which in turn allows us to create more content like this and better content as the channel grows. Chapter 6, the path to liberation. Reclaiming financial sovereignty and building a better future. The dark side of money is real. The conspiracy of control is pervasive. But resistance is possible. Liberation is achievable. The path to financial sovereignty is not easy, but it is there. Reclaiming control over your financial life, building alternative systems, and creating a better future. This is the ultimate act of defiance, the final step in breaking free from the conspiracy of money. Educate yourself, understand the system, learn about the dark history of money, the mechanisms of control, and the technologies of surveillance. Knowledge is your first weapon in the fight for financial freedom. Share this knowledge with others, awaken your community, and build a collective understanding of the conspiracy of money. Embrace decentralization. Explore cryptocurrencies, decentralized finance, DeFi, and peer-to-peer systems. Build alternative financial networks outside the control of governments and banks. Support projects that promote financial privacy, anonymity, and censorship resistance. Decentralization is the key to undermining their control and reclaiming financial sovereignty. Build community. Create local economies, support local businesses, and build resilient communities that are less dependent on the centralized financial system. Barter, trade, and share resources within your community, strengthening local networks and reducing reliance on the globalized, controlled economy. Community is your shield against the isolation and control of the system. Final chapter, the takeaway. The dark side of money is a harsh reality. The conspiracy of control is a formidable force, but humanity is resilient. Hope is not lost. The path to liberation is open, and the future of money is not yet written. The conspiracy of money thrives in the shadows of ignorance and apathy. Exposing the dark side, understanding the mechanisms of control, and taking action to reclaim financial sovereignty. This is the path to liberation. This is the fight for a better future. The chains of financial enslavement can be broken. The Digital Panopticon can be resisted. The dystopian endgame can be averted. The power to create a better future is in your hands. Educate yourself, decentralize, build community, and reclaim your financial sovereignty. The future of money and the future of freedom depends on it.